Hello everybody, I am Asaduzzaman Biswas. Today I like to discuss about WordPress plugin, right? So today I like to develop a plugin to insert data from your text box to your database table. That means user will give some input inside inside text box, and we will insert that input of the text box into inside a table of database, right? This plugin I will discuss today how to develop it. Now before that, I think you know about plugin. So plugin is, what is plugin? Plugin is basically a software. It contains number of functions or group of functions, and using this plugin what we do, we extend the functionality of WordPress, or you can say add some new features to WordPress, right? And we build this plugin using PHP language and integrate it with WordPress, right? That is basically the fundamental concept of plugin. And to build or to develop this plugin, I will have to use shortcode. And I think most of you know what is shortcode. Shortcodes are nothing but a little bit of codes using which we perform various tasks in WordPress, giving little effort, right? So we are having this few little bit of conceptual idea about plugin and shortcode, and now I will show how we will develop this plugin, right? At first, what we need to do, at first we will have to create a folder for our plugin that I am going to create now. So where I will create this folder, there is a specific location where I will have to create this folder, right? What is the location? Inside WordPress you will get this folder. If you install WordPress, obviously you will get this folder, and I will enter inside this folder, and here I am getting plugins folder, and inside this plugins folder I will create a folder for our plugin, right? So what the name I will give it? Suppose I give this name user info, something like this. Okay, user info, and inside this folder I will make my plugin. That means all the necessary files of my plugin I will create here in this location, right? So let us start our work. So what we need to do to develop a plugin, this is the main task. This is the main task, because without this we can do nothing in plugin, right? What that is I will have to, in commands I will have to write something to identify my plugin to WordPress, right? So what I will write here, first I will have to write your plugin name. Suppose plugin name is user info, right? So let us save it, and also I should keep this inside comments. Okay, now I will save it, give some name. I will save it inside the folder I created before few minutes, and I will give name of this folder, suppose same name, user info dot php, right? Let us save it and go to our dashboard of our WordPress, give refresh, go to plugins. Okay, look, I am getting it, user info, and if I click here activate, then my plugin will be activated, right? Okay, fine. So till yet I wrote nothing inside this file, so I will get nothing from this plugin. So let us start our work, and if I like here, suppose if I write here description, as description I can write something, insert data from, suppose I write this as description, right? And save it. Let us see we got something new here or not, and refresh. Look, here I am getting whatever I wrote as description, I am getting those texts here, right? Okay. In similar way you can write so many things here regarding your plugin information, like your author. You can write here author URL, so many things. So author, suppose I give here my name, okay, and author URL. If you give here author URL, you can also give it. It will take you to the author URL page if you write it here. So I will go to here, I will give here refresh, and let us see. Look, I am getting my name here, Asaduzzaman Biswas, and if I write here author URI, suppose here I wrote http://www. I wrote something about asad.com, and if I save it and go to your dashboard, give here refresh. Look, now I am getting hyperlink, means if I click here it will take me to the URI I just gave inside the plugin page, right? So like this, so many things I can write to give information about the plugins. Now what I will do now, this is the basic thing that you must have to do, otherwise your plugin will not be displayed on the plugin list. So you cannot activate that plugin and you cannot do anything using the plugin. So this is the mandatory things. Okay, now what I like to do, I like to, before writing any code, let me complete the basic needs. That means the few things I will have to do to develop this plugin. That is, I will have to create a table inside the database, right? And how I will know the name of the database? If I go to the folder, look, in WordPress there is a file that is your wp-config, right? If you go inside this page, you will get the name of the database and necessary informations, right? If I go to here, look, this is the name of the database I am getting from here. So what I will do, I will find out this database from database list. Look, this one, okay, and this one is my database. Inside this database I will create a table, and my plugin will insert data inside this table, right? So what, suppose I gave this name of my table, that is your user info, and I will not take that much columns. I will only take 3 columns, right? And click here, go. Okay, great. First column name is your ID, then your f name, and the last one is L name. Okay, and these two are varchar, this one also varchar data type, and I use varchar, so obviously I will have to give the length of the column, that is 250. Okay, sorry. and this ID column I will make it auto increment and primary key. So I will click on here, and this one will be primary key. Okay, so almost done. So I will click here now on save button. Let me check now the table is created or not. Okay, so I will go to the database. I will click on here to check I got the table or not. Okay, user info. One thing I did mistake, that is I should use WP underscore, because this is the prefix that my tables used, right? Okay, 57, but I am not getting the database table. Why? Let me, oh yes, I got it. This one is the table, right? But I did some mistake. I should give here WP underscore, because this is the prefix of my WordPress database, right? So I can do one thing. I should go inside the table. So I clicked on the table. Now what can I do? Click on operations. Probably I will able to rename from here. So I will write here WP underscore, right? Rename table to this. Okay, now go. Let us see. I think it should be renamed. I will check now. Let us check again. No, user info. Look, this table. I got this table. Now I will do work on this table, right? So what I will do, I will create a shortcode. I told you before. So to create shortcode, first I will have to create a function, right? Let me take, okay, and you can give any name this function. I give this name, suppose user inf, and this is the symbol of function, this is the starting of function, and this is the end of function, right? And for shortcode we will have to use this function to make shortcode, right? Okay, so when, let us give the name of the shortcode. I will give this name, suppose user info, and when I will use this shortcode, then this function will be called, and if we call this function, then whatever we will write inside this function will be executed, right? Let me copy and paste, because there might some spelling mistake, right? Okay, now look what I will have to do. I will have to include one file, that is your, let me show you, that is your this one. I will have to load this file, because because I will have to add your WordPress configuration, and that configuration is inside this wp-load file. So what I can do, my plugin is inside this folder, right? And from this folder, in this file, I am working right now on this file. So in this file I will have to include this page. So what I will do, I will have to write few codes, right? Otherwise my this will not work, right? So what code I will have to write? Okay, this, right? This is for because I will have to move from this folder, right, from this location to this location. So I just used here this line to move to this page, right? Move to the location of this page, and this variable is containing the location of this page, and the content of this variable we got from here. Okay, that means this is containing the information of this page, and this function will include this page inside the page we are creating right now. Okay, that means just by writing these two lines we loaded this page which is required to get the configuration of WordPress, right? Okay, great. These two lines are so important. If we don't write these two lines, then this plugin will not work, right? Okay, great. Now what we will do, we will make a form first, and whenever we will click on the form and whenever we click the submit button of the form, then whatever the user will give input inside the text box will go to the server, right? Apache server. Okay, so what we'll do, let us close your PHP, because we'll make form using your HTML. So I closed PHP, and from here I will start writing to create a form using HTML code. I think most of you know how to write it. So add action, and then I will write here method. I will use post method, right? This is the starting of form, and this is the end of form. Inside this form I will what should I write? I wrote here suppose first name. Okay, this is label, so I should write it inside label. This is end of label. Okay, now I will create a text box. And I will give it a name. Suppose I give its name lname. Okay, so the first one is complete. Now I will make second text box. Okay, first name, this one is your, no, I should give here f name, and this one is l name, right? I can give here one break, that will be better, because it will this text box will come in the next line. Now I should give here another break. Now I will make a button here, right? Type equal to submit. Let us give it a name. This is also your submit, short s, and we should write something on the button. So what can we write? We write here submit, same thing. Okay, now what I'll do, now I will write some code using PHP. Now what code? If we click on the button, then something will happen. Okay, so I should write here if. So this function will check you clicked on submit button or not. Okay, if you click on submit button, then whatever you will write inside this if statement will be executed. So let us see first we are getting the inputs or not, right? So what I will do, I will write here print and will check what is inside the super global variable post, because whatever user will give input inside the fname text box will be stored inside this super global variable, right? So I can do one thing, I can keep this input inside this variable f name. Okay, in that case it will be easier for me to work. So I am taking the inputs inside variable f name from super global variable, and similarly I can keep the input given in the text box inside this variable L name. Now I like to check what happened till now. Okay, so I need this name of my shortcode. Okay, so I copy it. Now I'll go to your dashboard. I like to create a page, and this page will contain my shortcode. So what I will do, let us create a new page and give it a name and add shortcode inside the page. So give it a name. I will give it, what name should I give? User info. Okay, information, something like that. How to add shortcode? You will have to use this to third bracket, and inside this third bracket you will have to give the name of your shortcode, and let us see what the output we get. Right, so I click here publish, and okay, but one thing, I did not activate yet my plugin, so my shortcode should not work. So I will go to plugins and let us activate. Okay, it's activated. So I will go to the page I created before few seconds, user info, right? So if I go to view, let us see what we got. Okay, great. Look, we are getting the text boxes we just created before few minutes. Now I suppose write here some text, and I will check after clicking the button I am getting the inputs or not. I clicked on submit, but yes, look, this is the inputs I entered inside the text box. That means delete whatever we did is working fine, right? Now now the main thing will start, right? Now what we'll do, we will insert this input inside the database. So for this, what we have to do, right? We will have to write some codes. What the codes we will write? Look, this one is very important. That is your object, WordPress database object, right? This is global. What is the object? This one is the object. No, sorry. Now what is the name of WPDB, right? This is the object of WordPress database class, and this database class contains all the methods those are required to do work with the WordPress database, right? So we will use method of this class. We can write it inside your if statement. I think that will be better, right? Okay, so which method we will use now? Let me copy. In that case I will have to write less coding. So this and this class or this object having a method, that is your insert method, and this method is used to insert data inside the database table. Now we will have to we will use few arguments of this method. The first one is the table name, in which table we like to insert the data. So let us copy the name of the table. So I will go to here, and the name of our table is this, WP underscore user info. So we will insert inside this table. So and next argument sorry next argument we will have to say that what are the data you like to insert inside this table, and there is number of data we like to insert. So there is number of, that's why we will have to use array, right? And this will be your associative array, because the index will identify the column in which you like to insert the data, right? So the first column is your, so far I can remember, f name, and inside this column you like to insert whatever inside this variable, right? The first one is n. Now the second one, the name of the second column is your l name, right? And inside this column, which data you will insert? The data that is inside this variable l name, right? So we write down the function. Now I like to check what the output we got from this code, right? So what I'll do now, oh no, there is no mistake, right? Now I will save it and will go to your output. I will give let us go to back page. Okay, let us come from here, it will be better, I think. So edit, and now I will go to preview change. One thing I can do, let's update, then go to preview changes, that will be better. So I click on update and I will go to preview change. So click on this button, preview change. Okay, now let us go, and before working on this page, let me check the database. I click here, browse. Is there anything or not? There is nothing inside this table, right? So let us give some input and let us click on submit button, and now I will check on the table. Oh great, look, the data is inserted inside the table. That means my code is working fine.